Huh. So it says no trespassing, park under construction. Alright. They said it out there. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. You see my car parked out there. I've been here before. Like, there's other entrances that, like, you can come in and lead to this area. It's not like this is some, like, separate thing. Like, this is a whole fucking... I've seen people riding bikes out here before. Like, I'm not tripping. Maybe they just forgot to take those signs down. Because you see how overgrown that shit is. This looks pretty developed. This is over here on the north side of Houston Spring. Spring Creek's like right through those trees pretty much. It's kind of a vibe out here. I like it. I used to escape to the woods and trails and stuff like all the time, and then they started to turn the specific trails that I would like kind of go down. They turn them into like these official parks and stuff. See, there's a guy right there. This shit ain't closed. No trespassing. See what I'm saying? Got me all paranoid and shit. I need to get a bike that's decent for trails like this. That shit's a good workout too. Probably need a bike rack for my bike. This type of stuff I like to do. I really do. I like fucking nature, wilderness, exploring. I like bike riding. I usually do that. We used to have like dirt ramps in the woods, like literally like right behind my house, like behind my fence. There's a little patch of woods, forest. We got dirt bike ramps back there. Everybody from the neighborhood would go there, and I'd always have to steal my stepdad's shovel so we could, build up the ramps. Like, go get the shovel, bro. I'm like, all right. Go steal out the garage and shit. Risk my life doing that. My stepdad. He probably been mad, but he wasn't like gone crazy or nothing. But that shit was fun. But yeah, like I grew up doing that when I was young. Out in the woods all over. By my old neighborhood. This actually ain't far. It's a couple miles, 5 miles maybe. Well, this is Houston. This is Spring, but it's like kind of Houston area. It's like, this is what this area is. It's foresty. I'm just getting tired of people. I think there's like way too many people. I think the population has grown since I was young. Fucking a lot of the woods that I used to explore when I was young have gotten cut down. It's just all more urban. I don't know, just people. I'm just like, fuck, bro, can't even get away. It's like the best I got right here. And the only reason they keep this shit is because it's along the creeks, and it fucking floods around here all the time. So they gotta keep a floodplain along the creeks where the water can overflow to. That's the only reason they're keeping this shit as green space, as a park basically. Let's see what it says. Spring Creek Greenway. I was thinking they should do like what do you want to call it? Like Tour de Spring. Like you got Tour de France. Like Tour de Spring. It's pretty far. 45 goes all the way down to like 59. You can see at the other end. That's a good distance. So I think it's like 20 miles or something. But basically just goes along Spring Creek. And I guess they're trying to go past 45 on the other side. I've gone down this. Actually, I have what they call the Mobike, which is where you put a motor on a bicycle and you basically turn to a motorcycle. And I had a cool one. It was a cool bike, and the motor fit great, and it was a good little setup. Then the motor, it was a chain tensioner that broke, so I took the motor off. I was just using the bike as a bike, and I left it in front of McDonald's. Yeah, it was me. Just thinking about it makes me sneeze because I'm allergic to bitch ass motherfuckers. But left it in front of a McDonald's, and Yeah, somebody had stolen it. I was just like, you son of a bitch. That was like right before I got my car. It's been like 2 years since I had my car. Almost. Yeah, I think it will have been 2 years. Bless me. When? I think September maybe, or August, something like that. That's a decent amount of time. Time's kind of flown by since I've gotten this car. But the thing is too, like, I'm just not like riding around as much. I'm not, because I used to just really, actually, that's the reason I decided to take the motor off instead of fixing. Ah, bless me. I'm allergic to bitch ass MFs. That's why I'm sneezing, because I thought about that guy who stole my bike. For real, I didn't start sneezing until I started thinking about him. But what's my point? Oh yeah, I took the motor off of the bike and I didn't just fix it because I wanted to ride more and work out, because that motor, I was just lazy. I was just, turn on motor, kick it, just fucking sitting. Like, I actually like the exercise right now. I felt better. Like this guy, fucking girl, whatever, looking like Lance Armstrong. That's good exercise right there. I like that. I like how I feel after like a nice bike riding expedition. That's actually why I'm out here walking too, in part because it's good exercise. I just feel a lot like you have to, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, I don't know who's listening, but like, you gotta exercise. Like, you have to get the blood flowing. Really, like, I was just thinking about this last night. You could eat a bunch of food, but if you don't get the blood flowing, and those nutrients ain't even gonna get to your body, if you don't get your metabolism going, then your body's not even gonna be like going through the repairs that it needs to. It won't even be able to get the nutrients to various parts of your body. And so you're eating almost in vain, because you have to work out. Like, you have to get the blood flowing. It has to be in conjunction with your body. I thought Spring Creek was right here. Is it? Did they put a fucking pipeline under Spring Creek? How do you do that? Did they? Because they're acting like it. It's like pipeline. You can see the signs over there saying the same thing, unless it just goes over. Does it? Let's see if there's a thing that goes over. I'll walk across it. Because I'm a crazy boy. Yeah. Seriously, there's like a pipe thing that crosses. I'll walk across it if it's possible. Let's fucking see. Because this type of shit I like to do. I hate just going the same old beaten path, you know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta like explore. Like, that's what I did when I was a kid. That's what I still do. I guess I am still a kid. That's funny. Anyway, I got a machete in my car. I should have grabbed that in case I want to go through some of this dense ass forest, make some new trails. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it. Because a lot of these trails that exist are actually trails that, random people beat out, and they just decided, okay, we'll just pave that one since it's pretty prominent. A lot of like 4-wheeler trails and stuff. So you got another sign right there. Park under construction, no trespassing. Dude, there's like fucking bike riders going. They come from like all the way across town. And they're thinking it's cool, so y'all just forgot to take your damn signs down. That's random. That's a random ass sign right there. We've been in a drought recently. Like, really, that shit. Really, we had Hurricane Harvey. This shit was probably, that sign was probably underwater. Like, for real, you could like tell how low it is right now. Hurricane Harvey, fucking like one torrential downpour, because there's so much runoff in Houston. It's like it's all paved. It's such a big area of paved land that it can't seep into the soil like it needs to. So it just runs into these tributaries. The storm drains run into tributaries that come into these major creeks, and they just flood the fuck over. And that's why they got to keep this whole area right here as a, undeveloped, as a floodplain. It's a park, but its dual purpose is to be a floodplain. Like, they have this written on their website and stuff. Like, it's not just my theory. Is that a pelican? See, that's why I like nature. See, let me tell you something. I like fucking nature because it reminds me of like the magic, the majesty, just like the miraculousness of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started to think about biology. I love studying like biology, science, and stuff. And I'm like thinking like, I'm just out in a natural setting, and I'm thinking about, you know, food chains. Look at that little bird over there, eating little tadpoles or whatever. You know, look at these bugs. Look at these plants. I start to think of cellular biology. I start to think about this planetary system. Fucking, what the fuck is this planet even? It's like a floating around a star. That's actually a secondary star from what they say. They say we have heavy metals here on Earth because there was a star there that blew up, and all the heavy metals that were forged in its fiery furnace of a interior blew up and recoagulated into this current solar system. So that's why we have like iron and stuff to make fucking cars and airplanes and electronics and shit out of. So we won't even have that if it wasn't for the fact that this is a secondary star system, and that's a secondary star right there. That's what they say. That's what they say. I don't know how true that is. But just thinking about that, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, look at this planet that I'm on right here. Like I'm on this floating rock thing that blew up from the center of a star that recoagulated somehow. It took a long time to fucking cool down and for life to start growing and shit. Like, this is just like the recent stage of development that we're at on this planet. Like, it finally cooled down and life started growing. It's like fucking weird. And it's like all this biodiversity. It's really like, if you look at the planet, and it's like a thin ass layer of atmosphere, thin ass layer of fucking biology on the surface. It's almost like a slime of life that is just covering the surface, and we're part of that. We're like a slime mold covering the surface of this rocky planet because it's wet. You know, you got wetness and carbon, and you got, you know, the composition of the atmosphere, nitrogen and stuff, oxygen, and those little ingredients kind of make a nice wet, slimy surface that you know, that when you look at it up close has all this biodiversity, like ourselves and everything. You know, that's the type of shit that when I'm out here, I start thinking about that shit, and it takes me away from stupid stuff, you know, stupid human drama. That's what I call it, you know, because humans are always dramatic. Humans are like, oh, my mama said, and I don't know. I'd rather just appreciate the majesty of life, biology, the miraculousness of it all. It's a freaking organic miracle. Like, I'm telling you, like, this shit, it's fucking crazy. I call it the fire of life also. The freaking the way that, you know, life, cellular, how do I say it, like the cellular function and structure, it takes raw material and it like transform it transforms it into living organic matter. But it's almost like the way that metabolism works with oxygenation and stuff, and it's breaking down molecules. It's similar to fire, it's similar to combustion, and that's really what this is. It's like a very controlled form of combustion almost. It's taking raw material and metabolizing it into fucking living organic material. It's like a fire. Like, that's what life is. It's like literally like a different form of combustion almost, with the metabolism of, you know, the raw materials into what you see. This right here, all the greenery, as much as, you know, fire can actually engulf that in itself is almost like a form of fire, because it's taking the raw materials and it's engulfing, I don't know, it's transforming it into this, you know, biodiversity that you see. If you have to study the actual metabolic pathways and the chemistry of it to see the similarities between it and fire. That's basically what it's doing. It's taking raw material, and it's not actual combustion, but that there is a metabolic process that you can see, you know, is like analogous to combustion, that gives rise to, and it's still an ongoing process. It's still like that, you know, analog to combustion happening with all of this living transformed matter right here. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it's metabolism. That's what it is. But it's very similar to combustion. So metabolism, as you see with all these plants and bugs and the bird, myself talking, what we're doing is we're taking raw material and transforming it into, we're metabolizing it into living organic matter, which further metabolizes it. It is like this ongoing chain reaction type thing. That's why the whole planet's covered in it. It's covered in the whole like surface of the planet's been like metabolized, basically. That's why it's covered in living organic matter. I know that sounds crazy. It actually doesn't sound crazy if you understand science and the whole chemistry behind it, but it's just a different way to look. It's just, I call it the fire of life. It's just kind of poetic a little bit, but that's really what's going on. It's this raw material that's being metabolized, which is almost like an analog to combustion. And it's the whole world's kind of on fire with life, you might say. That's what it is. Like when you got a whole area that's just like covered in life, like all these green plants and stuff, it's been metabolized. Which is an analog to combustion. So it's like it's been engulfed in the fire of life. That's what I like to say. I don't know. I know it sounds. You just gotta see the analog there with metabolism and combustion. It's just similar in its essence, kind of taking raw material and transforming it like that. And it's like the raw material has caught fire with life and has grown into this. It's metabolized into this forest. It's a giant like forest fire of life. It's hard to say that because forest fires actually do the opposite and will like eat that away, but it's very similar in its essence. It's like I don't know, whatever. I tried to explain. Whatever. I tried. It's the type of stuff I like, though. That's why I like coming out here. I used to spend a lot of time out here. I'm telling you, like just outdoors, and really, I guess I've taken the time. Thankfully, what did Isaac Newton say? Said we're standing on the shoulders of giants. See that pelican fly? Thing looked like a freaking. Always reminds me, like, I feel like that's like a pterodactyl or something, a little mini pterodactyl. I can see the relation between birds and dinosaurs. I promise. Oh man, I could tell you stories, man. With drugs are involved. Where I was like, dude, I felt like we're living in Flintstones, bro. I promise, shit was crazy. But I've also floated down one of these creeks. Not this one. Cypress Creek's a little bit south of here. I floated down that one, a little inflatable inner tube. I swear it felt like Jurassic Park, bro. I don't know why. I just had a vibe. But what I was gonna say was like Isaac Newton said is like we're standing on the shoulders of giants. And that's considering like what he was able to figure out during his lifetime was like built upon all the previous knowledge that people that came before him kind of had discovered. That's what it is. It's like this successive, multi-generational, like learning process, really, and with humans, with mankind. And that's the thing. I've kind of taken the time to learn a lot. I like studying science. I like because a lot of people are taking time to figure that stuff out. So I've taken time to kind of learn a lot of that, which really has just like really expanded my appreciation of like life in general. Like and like I'm trying to explain here, like with the metabolic fire of life, whatever you want to call it. It's like that's just something I understand because I can have that perspective on it because I understand the metabolic process because people have taken the time to figure that stuff out. But I mean that's cool. It's something I don't take for granted. That's even cool in itself, like the multi-generational like learning process, the way that we keep records, and it's like this collective memory, it's like this one collective mind of mankind, by keeping records. It's our fucking, people can argue that that's what makes, a single organism an organism is to have, this one mind with one life and one memory. So if we keep like a collective memory, and that could be like one organism that is mankind, kind of, If that's erased, then it's like, ooh, that's like, it's almost like we're killing our own organism. That's why like the Library of Alexandria that caught fire or whatever, like that was so tragic. That was a lot of the collective knowledge of mankind that was being kept there. The collective memory of mankind, you might say. And got burned up. that was the like the collective experiences and the things that people learned that they wrote down in the books and stuff. And now we got like this right here. Like I'm using a video camera. We have digital copies of that stuff. Hopefully that doesn't get wiped away, because it really is. It's like this collective mind, collective memory type thing, which might, create the essence of like a single collective organism. I was about to say it consists a single organism. Is that the right word? Can I use it in like a verbial way? It consisted. It like puts it together into okay, whatever. I'm getting lost here with my wording, but you know what I'm saying. It comprises. It consisted in a verbial way into like this collective mind of our species and collective memory. And so yeah, it's like that's erased. It's tragic. It's like an individual's memory being erased, and now their whole life is almost just like wiped away. That's what happens with the collective memory of our species, and it's like that's not good. Like all that work from every individual, that contributed to the collective mind, the collective knowledge, that we can all learn from. That's wiped away. It's like just resetting this collective. So it's like just having to start over. That would not be fun. After all the work that everybody put in, and put forth, man, that would just be horrendous. I feel like tragic, honestly. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's not lose that. This is like what I call like behavioral evolution as well. Like you have like physical evolution, which is just like genetic, biological gene expression, this and that. But there's like behavioral evolution, which is like the knowledge that we have that informs us of how to do things. And if we can keep that knowledge, then we can keep our what do you want to call it, like behavioral gene progression. Like actually I think Richard Dawkins kind of talked about that. He was talking about a meme instead of a gene. He's talking about a meme, and I think he kind of meant that in the sense of like a memory thing in the collective, like I'm talking about here, collective knowledge and stuff. And it's like a behavioral gene, that exists in a species. And if we write down everything and keep that stuff written, it's like we have like a gene bank almost of behavioral knowledge, behavioral genes or whatever. But if that's erased, then what do you have? You have just what people have in their personal immediate memories that can be again shared and passed on. Writing is something that really has allowed us to create that type of memory gene pool, whatever. I think that might be where he got the word from, Richard Dawkins. Meme, memory, right? Something like that. I don't know. Haven't asked him. Haven't actually read any of his books or anything. I just kind of heard that in a roundabout way. But it's a good idea, with behavioral evolution stuff. These behavioral genes, you might say, which are just like concepts, ideas that people can learn and apply, and can change the way we do things, change outcomes that we can create. With the knowledge that we have. If you lose that knowledge, you lose the ability to create that outcome. It's like skills, These things are important. That's why, we are where we are today, because we have that collective knowledge, the collective memory, like chemistry and science and architecture, engineering, like all types of stuff. And we have a lot of what we have today, like computer science and stuff, because we've been building our collective memory, what do they call it, symposium of knowledge. That stuff's important, man. It is. Anyway, let's get on with this adventure wherever I'm going. This is what happens. I start staring at running water, nature, and I'm like, ooh, universe, solar system, mankind, this and that. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just what happens. But this is because, like I was saying, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. I've studied a lot of literature, whatever. I guess I'm adding my own little twist here with like different concepts that I'm saying a little bit, right? Maybe it's already been said. Maybe I'm just reiterating certain ideas. But I don't know. I just like making content. If I am just reiterating the same ideas that other people have, I guess all I'm doing is passing on, behavioral genes, memes, cultural memories or whatever. And I guess I'm just a replication device for certain knowledge, like for real. If that's what I'm doing, if all I'm doing is repeating something somebody else said, and that's fine. I'll be a replicator, whatever you want to call it. That's fine with me. I think it's important. Certain knowledge is important. That's why we have what we have today, are able to do what we are able to do, and are able to continue to progress, because we are building upon the shoulders of giants, not just standing upon it, but building upon it. We're still building the giant, like we are building this collective knowledge or whatnot. It's important stuff. It really is. If you wipe out the, I don't know, at whatever part of the structure we're at, if you wipe everything underneath it out, you're back at square one, kind of back on the floor almost, We have to build. We have to remember our history. That's where we get us. That's where, I don't know, it really is like a collective organism with a collective lifespan and memory. But it's almost like singular. It's like a singular lifespan and memory made out of our collective experiences that we record and share with one another. I love stuff like this. I just love thinking like this. But that's really what it is, though. I mean, you can look at it and see for yourself, I'm sure, to confirm or whatever. But yeah, I guess I'm trying to, hit that nail all the way in, like explain how important recording history is, and not losing our collective memory. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like super important. Thankfully, we have this thing called blockchain today, which I think is going to be very useful in helping us maintain our collective memory, our knowledge base, instead of having like central servers. Because like I said, a lot of this stuff is digital today, and central servers can be taken out, or they can be intentionally, I don't know, like people who control them can be malicious or whatever. But if it's all decentralized, in computer networks and stuff, I think it has a much higher chance of surviving, because it doesn't, because it's like, instead of there being a head of a snake that can be taken out and then the whole thing is gone, crashes, it's all decentralized now. It's almost like it's a cool, like adaptive, I'll say almost like a defense mechanism, but it seems like an adaptive trait of sorts, I don't know, I guess it's a survival like trait. That's cool to me. That's cool to actually think about in that way, like this collective organism of man, and then technologies like that, which are again part of like behavioral evolution. We learn how to do new things. We learn how to store knowledge in a decentralized way. That's pretty it's kind of remarkable, Like, it really is. That's part of evolution. It's not just genetic. It's not just, random mutation in my DNA and new gene expression. It's like, no, this is behavioral evolution. We're figuring out new ways to do things, sharing that knowledge. People replicate that knowledge. Really it started with a Bitcoin, and whoever Satoshi is, starting some of that. I'm gonna go through here. And then, people learning, you know, what that technology was. It was like one guy that kind of figured it out with his genius or whatever. You know, that's why I love geniuses too, because geniuses figure stuff out and create all new behavioral genes or memes or whatever. See, that stuff's important. This looks kind of crazy. Do I really want to go through here? Let's stick on the happy road for a minute. That just seems happier for this video. That just don't seem very photogenic back there. Even though I just said a couple minutes ago, I kind of prefer the off-road stuff. Like, this is just happier out here. Let's get down this road for a minute. But anyway, geniuses come up with new stuff. They're like the behavioral evolution, the collective memories, random mutations, you might say, you know, that come up with some new gene expression, behavioral gene expression that, if it's good, can be replicated in the minds of other people, and knowledge can be passed on, and, you know, new technology can be perpetuated, new habits can be perpetuated, stuff like that. That's why geniuses are awesome, because they think differently. So just like a person with a random genetic mutation might, you know, have a different gene expression and look differently, or, you know, whatever. A person who's like a creative thinker, a genius, thinks differently. It's like a behavioral gene mutation. I don't know if you want to call it. See, I don't like that word. It sounds bad. It sounds too random. It's like a different, because you can trigger that too. You can choose to think differently. I think people to some degree can like choose, I don't know, have some control over their epigenetic expression, like literally with their gene genetic code. And maybe that has plays some part in you know, actual evolution, where the genetic code eventually changes. I don't know. This is like hypothesis theory here. There's probably a lot of different forces at play that lead to genetic changes, but either way, with like behavioral stuff, yeah, I think it's more of a, like, you can choose to do it. That's why I don't like to just say mutation. It sounds random and not good and uncontrolled. I like the idea of, you know, this being a choice, controlled fashion, you know, like we can choose to think differently, choose to evolve, you know what I mean? All right, is this one gonna be creepy and dark too? It's kind of looking like it. This might be the end of the other one. I'm just keep walking down the main trail. I really don't feel like creepy dark stuff. Not my vibe right now. But what else? Anything else? See, like, somebody at some point started making so-called energy drinks, and this right here is just like a copy of one of them. These are cheap, but see, this one, like, people liked it. That's even economics market, you know? Like, somebody comes up with a new idea, boom, brings it to the market, test the viability of it. And so, you know, it's selling, they're making some money. You got a whole bunch of copycats. That's the same thing. That's behavior evolution at work, you know? Producing new products, trying new things. That's progress right there. That's human behavioral evolution. That is freaking progress. That's how this stuff works. That's what I'm saying, bro. Do y'all understand that? What is right there? Is there a lake right there or something? I kind of want to see. I'm kind of actually sketched out to, or it's just the creek maybe. I'm just gonna keep walking. I just feel like walking today. This looks like a nice trail, so it's fun staying on it. But yeah, you hopefully made some good points in this video. I know it's kind of run on a little bit, whatever, but really didn't even plan on talking about any of this. I just walked up to that creek. I'm like, hey, here's why I like being out in nature, and started talking about all this stuff. But behavioral evolution, dudes. That's what that is. It's a collective thing. It's like, I mean, that's really what it is, even with like genetics of individuals. Like, there's some new gene expression that's good, you know, and it's replicated through reproduction. like typical sexual reproduction, whatever, then it proliferates. If it's a good idea, like a new way to do something, a new type of drink that somebody invents, if it's good, it's going to be replicated. And that leads to changes in the overall gene pool, like biologically, physically, with genetics, but then also like behaviorally. And this goes on to, and this is why I say like the economy is like this collective meta-organism of mankind. It's like, because you can see that type of stuff at work, you can see it literally with genetic expression, like I said, that proliferates, but then behavioral stuff like producing a new product or something that people copy and proliferate, it's like the same thing. And then there's this collective state of the entire collective organism that is constantly changing and being affected. It's like I don't know, and it really, at the end of the day, changes and shapes the no, that's a little lake right there, a little pond or something. I wonder if there's fish in there. But it changes the, I don't know, the state of the whole like biosphere, you know what I'm saying? That's a scientific term meaning the whole planet and its ecosystem. Changes the whole state of the whole, like, planetary surface with all the biological stuff and everything. Like, we're a major component of the biosphere, and when we change our habits, produce new stuff, and it can sometimes be toxic, honestly, and then we learn from it. We say quit doing that, and that's what we're going through right now. We're coming up with a lot of new stuff because a lot of people are thinking and sharing ideas rapidly, and these new ideas proliferate pretty quick. With the spread of technology today, it's like instantaneous. We're all connected. It's almost like a nervous system. The freaking internet, like rapid information sharing. And then I feel like the transportation systems, the, I don't know, commerce, whatever you want to call it. I feel like that's like a what do they call it? Circulatory system. It's kind of like that. So you can even see the parallels there with, like, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, we're a major component of the biosphere, and these things, little changes like that, behavioral changes in us, can make a big impact. And it's like, we gotta figure that out, and come to some stabilization with the collective situation, here on planet Earth. So yeah, so I don't know, hopefully I made some good little points there. All this type of stuff I think about. That's why I like to get away from people sometimes, and just try to enjoy nature and stuff. Because I start thinking about bigger stuff like this. Then if I'm just cooped up with people, they're always full of some type of drama. Just something I don't even want to, like, little stuff that I don't even need to be involved in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can contribute way more, like, by putting bigger ideas out that can help guide bigger change, on this planet, at least, and yeah, so it just feels stupid to be all involved with some dumb, annoying stuff. This looks like a more pleasant trail. I'd take this one. This one actually looks more pleasant than that even. Let's see it. Do. Going down. I'm saying. Alright, well, hopefully I made some good points. I feel like now that I said all that, I just should end this video before I ruin it by adding extra stuff that's irrelevant and stupid. So we can maybe try to make this like succinct type thing like that, even though it's all random that I've just thought about right now. But this is all stuff that I've thought about over time. It's not just like it all came to me right now. It's like I spent a lot of time in nature, and these are ideas that have like grown with me. Just where my mind has gone, my comprehension of the whole situation. And again, that's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. You know what I'm saying? I'm at a certain point in this collective human progression. certain point of the collective human memory or whatnot. And I'm trying to, I guess, contribute in some way, contribute new ideas, new behavioral genes, memes to our society, you know, that hopefully can help people going forward, you know. Ooh, it's a big old feather. Must be a big old bird right there. Not really. Most people pick that up. I've seen so many of them. I don't exactly care that much. But anyway, hopefully I made some good points. Looking kind of dark and moogie. Let's go through the dark mooginess to a new side of awesome, beautiful stuff. Unless it's just dark and moogie all the way through. So I just go back that way. I should end this video, huh? Pause, wait, I'll unpause it when I get somewhere cool. Hold on. This is kind of cool. I think that's a creek right there. This don't look that bad. This might be a while till I get to that main street thing again, though. I just like how it's more open. Sunny vibes. Let's chill right here. Not so bad. Anyway, like I said, I should end this video before you know, overdo it or whatnot. So I think I might do that. I want to get back to that main street before I end this video, though. I think I know where I'm at. I think I recognize this trail. All of its bends and turns and trees and whatnot. Whatever. No, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that in here, I guess. I'll now let me get back to Main Street. Hold on. I guess this is main enough for me. It's the main creek right here. I think I know where I'm at. I think I've been here before. I think I walked along this. I think I remember there's a lot of stuff that sticks to your legs. I don't really want to do that again. But here we are, Main Creek, Spring Creek. Here on the north side of Houston here. I'll probably keep wandering, but I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna leave it at that on this video. Hope you enjoyed. Look at that moon. Ooh, that's pretty. Moon's so nice. Cool planet we got. Got a lot of cool stuff going on. Let's not mess it up. So that's all I gotta say for now. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.